Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in DayZ 1.08 experimental right now, but there's excellent news. We just heard from the DayZ developers that Tuesday, June 30th, 2020, we're going to get our 1.08 update for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. This will be the live branch. I know it's a little confusing now because if you look at the version I'm on now, it says 108.153.144. But I assure you, this is the experimental branch for the Xbox, and this is before the release. But just letting you know that all of those changes that we've been seeing in the live streams and the videos you've been watching, one of which we should also say, well, with a lot of the things that have changed up to this point, we've got the wooden crates that got a slight change. I got a video on that. I'll go ahead and link that now in the upper right-hand corner. But yeah, it's super exciting. The base building has been crazy. They definitely got a well-needed buff, as you've seen us playing live on stream and also those videos. But yeah, huge change. Actually, let me go over and read the Twitter, which is probably mostly everything I just said. But that's pretty awesome that they finally. I didn't think it would go out that fast, actually. I mean, it's been a month, but I figured they'd had at least a few more weeks. And just to let you know, well, actually, let's read this first. Okay, so today they said the DayZ Update 108 will be released tomorrow in the afternoon, CEST. So that's Central European Standard Time. So I'm going to go off of the EST, so like East Coast. So it looks like it'll be in the wee hours of the morning, like 6 a.m. to like, I don't know, between, I would guess 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. would be afternoon for them. It says you can expect no wipes of the official servers. It says, but wipes are recommended only for the modded servers. So, yeah, that's crazy. Oh, yeah, and it says CEST. It says on all platforms, PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC, which is essentially what I said, but they had a more specific time. So, because of the time difference, yeah, it looks like on the East Coast we'll be getting it in the early hours of the morning. If fingers crossed, if everything is going as planned. Also, along with those big building changes that we got, we did. I had quite a few of those. We did a raid test on the new changes on the walls because they got a huge HP buff. So I'll go ahead and link the 108 raiding changes now in the upper right-hand corner. You can go check that out while we're waiting for this bad boy to come out tomorrow. And depending on when you're watching this, so that's why we put the date in there. You never really know. But, okay, yeah, so one of the major things you've already seen us deal with is desync and some frame rate issues here in this version. Now, we don't actually know if the desync is going to be in the actual... Whoops, I almost fell down. We don't know if the desync is going to be in the actual release on Tuesday. Here's why it's a little bit up in the air. Normally, I would say, yeah, this is what we're going to get, and maybe it is. I don't know. But the version we're playing is like a subset of what actually has been iterated on the PC, if that makes sense. What I think happened, and Sargent from our channel put up a pretty good theory, and I think it's pretty close, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. He said, I think they used an older version of DayZ that was certified, and then they slapped some of the changes on top, like the base building stuff, and, you know, like the new rifles and whatnot, and the new car wrecks, just so it could be certified quicker. But they were testing some of the new changes, knowing that they already had those changes rectified or changed, if that makes sense. So basically what that means is there's a chance, you know, fingers crossed, that the desync is going to be at 107 levels or a little bit better. Or, I mean, on the off chance, it would be the way it is exactly now. But the reason why I'm kind of skeptical on that is our version numbers. So if you're looking in the lower left, let me see while you guys are checking that out. Beep boop. Okay, so... The other reason why I say that is on the PC version, they have an experimental, and their version, as of the 25th of June, was 108.153.228. So you can already see there's a difference between these. I know they've iterated it at least twice since then, and I can already feel like the subtle difference, because we played this essentially when it first came out on PC, the experimental version 108, and then we immediately came over here when it became available on the Xbox experimental 108, if that makes sense. So I could tell there were some differences, subtle differences. Like the new stuff was still there, but anyway, so the point is, I really think that there's a good chance that there could be some improvement from what we've seen, more or less. I guess that's a roundabout way of saying it, right? We should also go over some of the other things we came across. So maybe expect desync, and then if it's better, then it's better. I mean, desync... Okay, think about this real quick. If you've been playing for a while, the developer version 104 right? And the only reason I say that is PlayStation 4 owners know that their version is different than the one that the developers list on their Twitter page or on the website, but just know that's the internal version because you guys will be on what? Something .14 or .15 at this point. Anyways, point is, oh geez, I just totally struck out. I was like, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, desync, right? So even if things are, okay, if things are really bad, the way it is right now currently in the version we're playing, it'll be like new stuff on top of the desync of 104, if that makes any sense at all. So, you know, keep that in mind. I know that's not super exciting, but the good news is the base building is so good, or at least such an improvement from what we're used to. I think it's going to add a lot to the game. Like, it's going to blow your mind how much it took to blow up a wall down there. And again, that video covers it. But, and I say in the best case scenario, what we could expect are these good changes and then maybe 107 desync. Because I'm looking at the logs now. I know you guys can't see it because I'm on the Xbox. But I didn't see anything that addressed desync or they call it quote-unquote inventory issues. So we'll see. Basically, we have to wait to see if the desync is going to be bad. But the changes we do know about seem to be pretty beefy. But let me throw out a couple gotchas, and I'm sure we'll go over this again. As we play this, we found out, and we're veteran players. We've been playing this a long time, especially on the console and more current versions. Food is going to wreck you badly. And this is on Chernarus. I can't imagine what it's like on Livonia, because Livonia, it rains constantly, so it's much more difficult. But just know that food is just going to destroy you. Try to keep your clothing in a good condition as far as not a lot of holes. Try to grab more shoes. It seems like the zombie damage or player damage can damage your shoes a lot faster, so obviously if you don't have shoes, you're going to be bleeding out pretty quickly. So yeah, keep that in mind. Let's see. Fishing is a viable option. You're really going to want to like nail down some fishing. I know one of our older fishing videos will probably do the trick, so I'll go ahead and link the fishing guide now in the upper right hand corner. Go ahead and check that out. Yeah, it's going to be massive. Let's put it this way. I have not died in starvation in this game for at least a year, probably more. But when we played this, I died in starvation like 3 times back to back. And I know the map pretty well. So it's a thing. Another thing to keep in mind will be the sickness. You do get sick rather quickly. So head to areas that have tetracycline, vitamins, and really try to stockpile them. And make sure you stay out of the rain as best you can. Let's see what else. And I'm sure we'll go over a lot of this again. But we do have there were cooking changes again in 108. And I'll go ahead and link the cooking changes video now in the upper right hand corner. It'll help you get started. And yeah, those videos will definitely guide you in your path for some of the new changes, the better changes, and some of the more difficult changes like hunger and sickness and all that stuff, because it is going to plague you when you first start. I promise you that. It's pretty bad. Let's see what else. We were not able to test the vehicles as of yet, so I don't know, but that is closely tied to the desync issues. And let me speak to some of the frame rate issues we've had on PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. Now, when I talk about OG Xbox or OG PlayStation, those are like first gens or like original hardware. Let's just call it original hardware. And then we have the and actually, I think the Xbox S is considered kind of the OG hardware because there's not enough in there to really help, at least not in as far as this game is concerned. And then there's the PlayStation 4 Pro and there's the Xbox One X, which are essentially the Pro versions, right? I know the Pro versions don't have as many problems with frame rate because of the SSDs that are on the the internal SSDs on the machines. They help. Is it going to get rid of frame rate loss? No, not entirely. With all the extra building, that's going to be a thing with this new update. We'll see how that stands up. If you're having issues, I would recommend... Actually, it's been like this for maybe 4 updates. If you have the ability to get yourself an internal hard drive that's certified for PlayStation or the Xbox, do so. That helps a lot with this game. And that's not to say... I mean, in the future, it needs to be optimized, and yeah, it could get a lot better. But I know with this game, it seems almost every time that people that have SSDs, and even if you're using an original hardware box, whether it's Sony or Microsoft, it still helps a lot. Like, we've had people play on OG boxes with SSDs, and they have about the same performance we do, if that makes sense. So, yeah, keep that in mind if you're looking to make an improvement. I really think these changes are going to bring about the population back, especially if they can nail down even a little bit of the desync issues. And the base building is so good, we're going to see massive amounts of buildings everywhere. And I would also assume that since we had some duping issues and there's going to be no wipe, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff in the populace or the economy. So keep that in mind too. So, you know, keep your eyes open and look out for them big bases, because they are going to be coming big time. So, oh yeah, that'll do it for this update. If you found it useful, helpful, be sure to drop a like and consider dropping a subscribe. We'll be doing some DayZ stuff. If everything goes as planned, we should be streaming this as soon as it comes out on Tuesday. And yeah, we'll be doing it up. We're also fast awaiting for the Rust console beta that's coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Cannot wait for that. I'm sure you guys have seen stuff about it. We're super excited. And yeah, so all things open world survival. And hopefully we'll see you guys in the next video / live stream. Love ya. Bye! I gotta get to a safe place.